Right, guys, welcome back to Football United TV. This is Gunners from All Corners, the show where we say Arsenal in multiple different accents. I'll introduce my lineup right after the intro. Yes. I always jam to this intro. Tonight I noticed that Steven was jamming with me. Big up Takemu once again. Thank you for that, my good friend Takemu, our good friend. All right, so we have a couple of subjects, a couple of Arsenal topics for you guys tonight, and for those topics, we have a couple of, well, I think they're legends here. Well, after a couple weeks break, my man Rob is back. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Refreshed from the international break and raring to go. We've got a good few weeks in front of us.
Yeah, we do. A couple of really important weeks. My amigo Caio, you good?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, my man, as always. And Steven, my
It's
co-host,
me.
my good friend.
I'm back.
How are you? That
The worst
you look
nightmares, dude.
scary. Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Mate, I'm always this scary. You see, just look at me.
Okay, okay. You're a beautiful man, Steven. Your mind is scary though. Your mind is scary. Not gonna lie. I have
Hey,
a
mate, I'm
comment
not as negative
already.
as some people. Come on. I ain't
My
that bad.
guys, big up the match reviewer.
Big
All
up
right,
Tito.
so we have a couple of topics tonight. Beyond the post, Natasha is going to be joining us very soon. But let me try to be as quick as I can because we have a couple of things to talk about. Actually, Steven, you want to show something really, really, really cool to us before I get going with the show?
Yeah, so obviously everyone knew that they did charity stream about the second week. Well, should be the first week of March. It's usually Big Yellow Fridays ever. Children's Liver Disease Foundation is big fundraiser. Big Yellow Friday is usually every first Friday of March every year. We decided to do it the next month Friday for a bit of planning. And at the time, I had Mel asking me for my postal address, and I had no idea why. But I ended up giving it anyway because, luckily, I trust Mel. Um, and yesterday, this came through the post. Dear Stephen, I've recently been informed that you are going through a difficult time, and I'm very sorry to hear this, but on behalf of everyone at Arsenal Football Club, I send you best wishes. I've also been informed that you're an avid Arsenal supporter. As a token of our appreciation, please find enclosed a card which players have signed for you. On behalf of the players, staff, and management of Arsenal Football Club, once again, I send you best wishes and please stay strong. We are all behind you. Thank you for your continued support. It is much greatly appreciated. With very best wishes, yours sincerely, Mikel Arteta, manager of Arsenal Football Club. And as the card, where some players, including Lacazette, Lokonga, Tavares, have all signed. I think we've counted about 12 to 14 signatures on that. So yeah, big up to the club for that.
Big
Despite
up Arsenal.
the stance on the manager still hasn't changed, but obviously, but that's
How
'cause-
ungrateful does that
Look,
make Steven?
no.
Steven is
Look,
so ungrateful.
look.
The
I
guy's
want,
doing a good job at Arsenal and
mate,
he sends you a letter.
mate. He sends me a letter, great. But I remember I remember
He
Wenger
stayed
sent
up
me a
late
letter.
one night to write that letter himself.
Mate, look, I am, I am always grateful for anything anyone sends me, right? And they didn't have to do that, and that's the one thing I love about my club. They do things with a touch of class, which is what our motto is, and that's a touch of class, right there, and that's why I love my club. Because they have, and don't mean any other club wouldn't do that, but just saying. Um, but the only reason I don't personally hate the guy, I don't personally hate the guy. I just want what's best for my club, right? And I just feel that we could have a better manager, rather than the one we've got right now. But if he's going to prove me wrong, he proves me wrong. So what? I'm not. I get things wrong every day. So like, but it doesn't mean that I don't support the club any less when he goes out on the pitch. When he goes out on the pitch, I'm I'm still gonna be an Arteta fan when I'm on when we're playing for 90 minutes. I'm gonna be an Arteta fan and an Arsenal fan, and that's the main thing.
Awesome. Awesome. Big up Arsenal once again. It's like Steven shouldn't change his mind because of a letter anyway. I was only kidding. Big up to them. Mikel Arteta is still going to change Steven's mind. We'll see. He's doing all right now. We've had this conversation multiple times, so we're not going to have it again right now. The first topic we're going to be touching is March's Player of the Month. I think Arsenal has a short list, right? Four name short list. If I'm not mistaken, that's GMAG, Gabriel Magalhães, Porte, Odegaard, and Saka. I would add, and I'm sure Kai would agree, I would add Ben White to that list. And if anyone has a name outside of that list, please be my guest to mention it. But I would agree with that short list, though. I feel like the best player of this month comes from those five
I think
names.
there's one. To be honest,
Go ahead, Steven. Let's start with you.
it has to be Odegaard.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Odegaard's
he's one of the standouts
performances
for sure.
last month were quality, and he really got into the game. Goal contributions have been great. I think if you saw the last hour of our 6 hour stream, we had Graham on, and he was really singing Odegaard's praises, and how he's developing into a player, a cam at Arsenal. Um, and when we signed him, I didn't completely rate him at the time because why would Real Madrid want to sell one of their youngsters if they didn't think if they thought he was any good?
Mhm.
Right. So, but he's managed to settle in at Arsenal, and now he's starting to produce his best football at the minute. He still needs to keep it up. He still needs to keep it going, but he's doing well so far. So, I'll give praise where it's due, and yeah, that'll be mine.
All right, perfect. By the way, Tiho is giving us a great analysis of Cody Gakpo in the comments. That's the next topic. It's late. It's later in Holland than it is in England, and Tiho's a little young, so he might have to go before we get to that topic. But I hope you can stay, man. We're not gonna be staying on this POTM topic too much. Rob, do you agree with Steven or do you have a different name in mind?
No, I totally agree with Stephen, but what I would say
That
is
makes a change.
yeah, but what I'd say is we didn't always agree with that because you were against him, and as normal, um, I'm coming out with flowers again. Um, last, my first time I noticed something special about him was last season we played Leicester, and Leicester were a different team. They were good last season,
Yeah.
and we played brilliantly away to Leicester. Got a fantastic win, and Erdegaard ran the show. He was absolutely fantastic. And then I think it was towards the end of the season because then I think he got injured, um,
I
and
think the
so
West Ham game was one that really caught me
yeah,
out, and we drew.
so he didn't end the season brilliantly, and then he left. And I think quite a lot of people, uh, present company included, were quite satisfied that we were going to see him again. So obviously, when he was returning to the team, people weren't so sure. You're right, Stephen, for good reason. You think, well, why are Real Madrid getting rid of him? But I suppose he's not felt settled anywhere, has he? He went from Real Madrid. Where did he go from Real Madrid on loan to?
Sociedad, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
So
last team he played. Yeah.
yeah. So he's. I don't suppose he's felt settled anywhere. And that is he's not on loan to Arsenal anymore. We actually bought him, and he
By the
fits
way, Rob,
into
he was really,
yeah.
really good at Sociedad. Really
Right.
good.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay. So what are Real Madrid doing? You know, just instead of questioning why are they selling him, let's celebrate the fact that they have. And Stephen, you say yeah, but he's got to keep going. But you know what? I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. I think he's just going to get better and better.
Oh, if he gets better, it's even better.
But I think he will. I think he's a cracking player, and as I say, he's settled in. He's settled into the style of Arteta's play, which is why Arteta wanted him. No, I mean, I did think when you first asked this question, how do you choose a player of the month after the fantastic months we've had, apart from the Liverpool game? Some of the football we played, Watford was just a joy to watch. It was like going back years. The goals, the goals, literally had me oozing with pleasure. It was just amazing. It's just a shame, obviously, we lost it towards the end of it. It shouldn't have been as
that's
as
the one thing. That's the one
yeah,
thing that worries me, though.
it should have been as tense as it was in the end. But the pleasure beforehand of the goals and everything else was fantastic. And again, Erdegaard played his part. But you know, there are some fantastic performances. The team, you know, the whole team has performed brilliantly. But I think Erdegaard, you're right.
Also just mention is with the sort of even the Leicester game that they couldn't really. The reason Leicester just put this out there now, and the reason Leicester are not probably competing with us for this top four slot is they've not. They have been riddled with injuries all season. They've had defensive lineups literally changing as much as a celebrity change their clothes right every time they go out. So
yeah.
So they've been huddled within, like, absolutely crippled by injuries all season. To even the point that even I would use it as an excuse. And that's the thing that, and what I would say about Rodgers is that he's not actually used it as an excuse. He's just trying to go on with it. So even for Fafana, before even season started, he got injured. So
You can
that's the
tell
only
a good
reason they're not
manager.
up and up. That's the reason they're
You,
not up
yeah,
there.
but you can tell a good manager. A good manager
you could
doesn't use
guarantee
excuses.
You could guarantee Arsenal, Leicester would be competing with us, Man United, and Tottenham if they weren't crippled by their injuries this season.
All right.
Yeah.
Caio, what about you?
I agree with the Odegaard pick, but for the sake of variety, I will say Partey because
That's mine too.
he's such an enabler for this team. The way he played this month was sublime, really, as a single pivot, taking all actions under his belt and short passing, long passing, dribbling, short space play, long space play, and even something that I was missing. I missed watching him. His marking is much better now. I don't know if this has something to do with the confidence of the player, but it seems that now he has regained this ability of putting his body in front of the opposition and trying to steal the ball, something that he did very well at Atleti, but I did not see him do before previously last season. So
Is
I
that a
will say
confidence
Partey,
thing?
but sorry,
Is that a confidence thing? Do you think, or it's just?
I don't know. I think that maybe some confidence, but also the not the confidence, the mental confidence. I would say that the structure, the confidence in the structure of the team.
Mm,
Now he feels much more confident on where to be, and that he can go and step up in the pressing and even tackling the position, because he knows that his teammates will cover for him. I think that maybe
yeah.
it could be something like that. I don't know. I would have to speak with Arteta and get to know his opinion, but or even with Partey. But I think that that's fair to say that confidence may play a part in this. And but Odegaard also, what a special player, and his flair is so mesmerizing.
Look at
You know,
this. I'm sorry.
He's been
I
playing
love
really
being
well
white.
too.
Okay,
I don't want to know what you do with Ben White.
please respect Mr. Benjamin White. He
He's been
deserves it.
doing great.
He's been
Thank you
decent.
for that. 1 second, Steven. I agree with Caio. I actually put Partey slightly ahead of Odegaard, but both have had a phenomenal month. Nitesh, before you give us your answer, let me just go through a couple of comments really quickly. It was Tijo's birthday yesterday.
Big up,
Happy
bro.
birthday, my man. Happy 16th. That's a big one. So young. Okay, he's here now, so we don't have to read the comments. Tijo's also praising Odegaard, saying Odegaard was quality in the Eredivisie as well. Did you guys see the skills from Odegaard last week with Norway? Attackers, man, joga bonito. I did not see the skill, but I like the reference of joga bonito. Okay, take the square out of the screen. No need for that. Nitesh, my man, how are you?
I'm good. I was just finishing off work. I still have more work after this, probably. So, but yeah, I agree with the Partey comment, I guess. I think now he doesn't have to care about Granit Xhaka. Like Arteta has told Granit Xhaka, you're not standing there. Go ahead, run wherever you want, but you're not troubling Partey. He doesn't have to worry about the guy next to him. He knows it's his job now. Either he does what he has to do, or then the defense has to step in. So I
Yeah,
think one of the reasons he is feeling more comfortable and free is that he doesn't have to bother about what Zaka is doing anymore, because Zaka is playing as a floating eight and he's moving forward. So he'll be in the opposition box rather than behind Partey. And Partey probably doesn't now think that, okay, if I mess up, there is Zaka behind me, because Zaka is never behind him to solve any problem. So at the end of the day, I feel that this thing, that the tactic that has changed, converting Zaka into a floating eight, has actually helped and given Partey more confidence that I am the guy. If something goes wrong, then there is the defense behind me. There is no Granit Xhaka behind me.
You say
okay,
floating A or floating shit? So I
Steven,
can tell the
okay.
difference.
you think even Ben White is shit, so can't help it.
Yeah, because
Right.
he is.
Anyway, so everyone seems to agree that Odegaard's doing did really well in March, but three of us voted for Partey, who I'm sure Steven and Rob agree did really
Yeah,
well.
Partey's
Okay,
been quality.
what? Yeah. All
It's
right.
nine versus 10. Like it's either side, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So okay, this came out of the blue to me. I didn't even know who Gakpo was. I don't know how weird that is if he's famous at all. But I just started looking up. It seems that he could very well be Arsenal's first signing for the summer. It's a little surprising because I mean he can play as a striker. He's really tall. He's 189 or 6'3" if you guys speak in feet or meters. But really
6 foot
tall guy, but he
something.
usually plays on the left. He's usually a left winger. He's right-footed. Really strong, kind of fast, really tricky as well. But it was weird to me because I'd say that's comfortably Arsenal's most stacked position because that's where we have the smallest gap between the starter
He's 6'2".
and the sub. Gakpo,
Gakpo 6'2". You said 189, didn't you?
I just
189. Is 189 6'2"? I thought it was 6'3". Okay, 6'2" then.
It's
6'2" and a
Anyways,
half
I
probably.
just wanted to add one thing. Ruud van
Yeah.
Nistelrooy just took over as PSV manager. He's not coming to Arsenal.
What?
Ruud van Nistelrooy took over as the PSV manager. He's not coming to Arsenal.
Oh no, gutted.
This guy's not coming to Arsenal. The player.
Oh,
What a
There is a
Gakpo.
shame.
Oh, okay. I just understood your comment. Okay,
Oh, I thought
gotcha.
you,
yeah.
thought you meant
Gotcha.
Van Nistelrooy.
Okay.
Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy is the new manager. United is interested in the player. So guess where he might be going.
Okay, yeah, okay. So
Well,
we're
Well, that's the end of
we
that
might
then.
even cut the conversation short, which is a
well, it's
shame
up,
because
it's up to the player at the end of the day, though, isn't it?
yeah. Well, Tiho does have a lot of thoughts on, and well, by the way, Tiho doesn't like the rumor anyway. So if he goes to United, might not be too bad. But he says so. Yeah, rumors on Gakpo to Arsenal or Liverpool. In my opinion, I don't get why we would want to be looking at him. Clearly, he'd be a backup.
Um,
No way he starts over Martinelli and Saka. It's fair enough. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
I could go with something that you I mentioned before the stream started, mate, about the Cronkies
What
at the
about the
Emirates
Cronkies?
Stadium.
We'll quickly touch on that right
If you
after
wanted
this
to
topic.
cover, if you want to cover it without.
Yeah, right after we finish talking about Gakpo, which is not going to be too long because I
So,
I I didn't think about what Nitesh just
Yeah,
said.
I
That
just
makes a
thought
lot
you
of
might
sense.
wanted to move on from it because, like,
Yeah,
obviously with
yeah.
that sort of news.
So apparently he's been getting injured a lot.
Oh no, I
Doesn't
don't
get
want
too
him
much
in.
play time. He has solid numbers. Has like a goal or an assist every 70 minutes or so. You're talking about the Eredivisie, but it's still a good league. Like
The
it's
problem, the
below
problem,
the
the problem is, well, Marley, look
yeah.
how many players we've gone for, and how many times have Arsenal fans had to sit there and go with players that are great, talented, but are always injured, and they get
Yeah.
injured. So we always seem to pick up so many goddamn injuries, right? And it's nothing to do with EFA or anything like that. It's some internal problem that always has been a problem at Arsenal. And so if the guy is always getting injured, I'm not wanting him because it just
That makes
turns
sense.
into, even if he's a young player, if he's a young player that keeps getting injured, then like, I'm sorry, he's basically a 2.0 of Jack Wilshere.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not. And look what happened to him. And no, I can't have time for that.
Caio, Rob, do you have any knowledge on Gakpo whatsoever,
to be
or on the
to,
conversation?
to be honest, not really. And the reason why I don't really take much notice, I don't take much notice on these rumours because
Yeah,
we get linked to so many players. We get linked to everybody. And then,
absolutely
Dude,
incredible.
we get linked to literally half of all the players in
yeah.
world football.
And then what happens is they sign for someone else, and then the Daily Mail, whatever, says, um, blah blah blah, linked with Arsenal, chooses to go somewhere else, and
And we could have gotten.
we Arsenal miss out again, and we weren't even in for them. So, so if Arsenal want a player and they get a player, then I'll trust them because they know more than me and they want that player. So, um, he looks good. We'll see. But
Okay.
who's he replace? He'll have to replace a striker, wouldn't he? He'll have to, or be our striker, replace
But
a
I'll
I
take
striker.
think
more.
I think he's a hybrid of replacing Lacazette
Yeah.
and Nico
But
Pepe,
to be
but he
fair,
usually plays
Yeah.
on the left, which is where we have Martinelli and ESR.
when
No,
you
Caio,
exactly.
do
gotta
you
take
have any
more.
thoughts on him? No, Steven, 1 second.
Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I like the player. I rate him, but it would only make sense to me if we were really considering Smith Rowe for the eighth position, because I
I was
really
gonna ask
love
that.
Smith Rowe coming from the left,
Yeah.
and as all of you said, I don't think it makes much sense to bring another left winger. So we are talking about I think we have three alternatives here. The first one is Martinelli as a center forward, and right now in the near medium term, I don't think this is going to happen because Martinelli is still very raw, and to play center forward, even more so for him, who's a left winger, you have to be much more aware about your positioning. And I think he playing on the side with the sideline, it helps him to make decisions. The second alternative is Smith Rowe as an eight, and the third one is Gakpo as the center forward.
Yeah.
And I watched some clips of him. I don't think he's going to be the center forward. He has a lot of qualities and he uses his body very well. That's the biggest upside of him, in my opinion. His ball striking is very clean, and the way he uses his body, very good. He can hold the press, and he can also win duels. And but he's always coming from the left, always coming from the left.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not an expert in Gakpo to say if he can play and he can translate his game to the center forward position, even more so because he's coming from the Eredivisie, so it's a different league. So I don't know. But the player is good. I like him.
Yeah. I agree with you with everything you said. I think the second option you mentioned looks the most likely. I agree that Smith Rowe, like we've seen him play in a lot of positions already at Arsenal, and I like him the best as a left winger for sure. But then again, if you think about it, if we think about Smith Rowe as the Xhaka replacement, he'd still be coming from the left, right? Like it's a left-sided position still, like center left. Nitesh, do you feel like that could work? Having Smith Rowe
Yeah, I was
become
just
that
going.
like
No.
Foden versatile, like Bernardo
No.
Silva
No.
kind of
See,
player.
the thing is, anyways, what this current new system is implementing is Zaka doesn't have to defend. So if Smith Rowe more or less doesn't have to defend, I think he
Yeah.
can do that as well. And the other point that I wanted to make is if Gakpo is signed, Arsenal fans should understand that we'll probably end up playing with the false nine rather than playing with the striker. I think we will not be focused on getting a proper striker if they're as costly as we can see. We may end up playing with the false nine just like Pep does. Arteta will
What?
try to do what Pep does for an entire season. Yeah, it could happen. If I say I'm saying if we end up signing this guy,
We
we don't
just
need
got a
another
system
winger. He's
working
not a
on
proper
changing.
striker. And if we don't get a striker, that means we are going to play a season with a false nine. Maybe Smith Rowe will play up front, like he did against Villarreal. So the thing is that could work in the system the way that the team is playing right now, and only Steven will be the one who will be losing his mind over it.
You just
Steven,
mentioned Villarreal.
yeah, so it is okay. That was one game that didn't work out. Like we couldn't score a goal, but Smith Rowe was good up front. He was pressing hard and he
What?
was running around up. Yeah, he was chasing the ball well, but
Doing
we
what?
didn't score the goal. We didn't take our chances. That can happen.
Steven,
Uh-huh.
I don't think anyone gets as mad as you do at hypothetical scenarios.
No,
Like
no,
I
no,
don't think
no, no,
anyone
no,
has the
no, no,
ability of
no.
getting as
We've tried.
angry as you
We've
get.
just no. We've already established this season a way of being able to play and beat our teams, right? Already this season, right? We now want to start going buying players to go back to a system that knocked us out of Europe. Are we fucking insane?
Lacazette is anyways
I'm
not playing as
sorry,
a
are we
striker.
effing insane? No, that was never. Don't even think we were good in that game. We won. We won.
Steven, chill
We
out. Chill
deserved to be
out,
got
mate.
knocked out of that game, right?
Yeah, we
It still
did,
gives me
but we had
nightmares.
chances and we played like that was the first time we implemented it. The
No,
whole season, this
it should
season,
never have been
Lacazette is not playing
implemented.
as a striker.
So why are
Lacazette
you
is not.
implementing it? No, he's not Pep.
Okay.
Get this thing out of your head. He's not
Anyway,
Pep. He never will be like Pep.
Steven, it's all good. We're moving on from this subject anyway. As Nitesh
We're
said,
doing
because
well as it is. Why are we
a
changing
huge
it?
Man United legend is taking over PSV, so it's much more likely that he'll end up going to United. And I
The
just
thing,
want to say that I'm assuming Arsenal would probably buy a striker plus Gakpo. He wouldn't be
Can
the
I
only
just
attacker we'd get.
make a
Go ahead,
point that I
Steven,
wanted
just
to
to
make
finish.
with
Yeah.
that? But the thing is yeah, you said you're probably going to go Man United anyways, right? But what I've always said, and I've said this, I will go for an out and out striker because that's what we need. We need an
Yeah.
out and out striker. With the system we're playing now, we do not need to start changing it. We don't need to change it, right? Because we're doing well as it is. We just need more better quality, right? So that means getting rid of players like Xhaka, getting rid of players that like Cedric, right, and actually top quality signings, right? Lautaro Martinez will come if we had Champions League. This is all dependent if we get Champions League football, by the way, right? So this is why it's vital we do so. But Lautaro
He
Martinez
hasn't
could
been
come.
mentioned in so
Right.
long.
Even Isak, for example, I take more of a risk at Isak than I would with Gakpo, and the reason because it's like and I don't know much about Gakpo. I don't know. I haven't heard much of him. But if people are saying he gets injured very easily, I don't want to go near him, and I'd rather take a
That's
risk on Isak.
Steven,
that was just Tijo saying he got injured a lot this season. Like I have no idea if he has a bad injury
Well,
record.
if he does, then I'd rather get.
Steven, this system that you're talking about, Lacazette is not playing as a striker anyways. So even if we don't get a
Why?
striker,
Because he's not good enough.
no, it's because of the system. He
No, he's
comes
not good
deep into
enough.
the midfield to link up the
And
play
why
of
are
the
we now having a
wingers.
system where we have to have?
Okay,
This is the
guys,
problem.
I want to move
We've
on.
got a
Steven,
system
Steven,
that
I
makes it
want to move
acceptable.
on.
I'm sorry, it makes it
We're go-
acceptable. It makes it
okay.
acceptable for
That
Granit
was
Xhaka to just float around.
Jesus.
No, he should be defending, helping, and
Steven,
doing his job.
we're
If he's
probably
not,
buying a
shouldn't
striker.
be in the team.
Everyone
I
thinks we're
reckon
buying
we're
a
going to buy a
striker.
striker. I
Yeah,
reckon we
we
are.
might even buy two
And buy a
strikers.
DM so we can actually have
If
some proper
Gakpo is
cover
the
in front of
second
the front back
striker, I'm
four.
okay with that. I'm assuming
Instead of
everyone's going to be
people
okay
just
with that
carrying
too.
themselves off the team.
Okay, we're quickly talk about out of the blue. Kaio's quiet in the corner, like, what's going on, guys? Okay, just very quickly, another out of the blue rumors that we could be selling our stadium to the Kroenkes. I have very little knowledge on this topic. I had little knowledge of the Gakpo one, but this one I have even less. So if anyone wants to take over, has any knowledge on the thing whatsoever,
I've
or an
just got a
opinion,
deal.
of course
I've just
Steven
got,
does.
yeah, I've just got it. This is on just Arsenal.com. The
Yeah.
Kroenke family are claimed to be purchasing the Emirates Stadium from Arsenal Football Club, with the arena set become a holding of Kroenke Sports and Entertainment. But the deal sounds disgustingly against the club's best wishes. The Gunners built the stadium, obviously we know, in 2006, which was expected to the deal was expected to take place. We'll see Arsenal sell the Emirates for £120 million fee.
What?
This will see us sign a 99-year lease on our home, right, in which we will pay 10 million a year, but they want
I
us to pay 10 million pound a year
So in
to
11
live
years to
in
get
our
their money
own,
back?
to live in our own gaff. Claims SheWar.com claims that the Kroenke family loaned the football club £184 million to pay off the remaining debt. Oh, do you know what's funny? It's very funny. Right? Abramovich writes off all his debts. What does the Kroenke do? Gets us to sell our stadium. So we now technically we have no home.
Yeah, that sounds a little crazy. Caio, what do you think on that? What Steven just
Oh
read?
my
Did you
god.
know about that? Do you believe that? Like what's
Guys, I don't know how to comment on this. I'm really not a finances expert, so
Well, this will be
fair
the
enough?
club that everyone seems to back.
And this is on
No,
what? Sorry.
no one backs
Where
the
you read?
Kroenkes, mate. Rob, what were you saying?
So where are you getting this from?
This is from multiple sources. This is from just Arsenal.com. If I go back, it's also
Arsenal.com.
been just Arsenal.com. Sheward.com are saying it as well.
This would be outrageous.
Football
Yeah,
London.
that'd be the values spoken of as well. Like
Football-
that's just crazy. It's so little.
Thousands fans stage protest.
No,
that was last
can't
year.
be right.
Yeah.
So what happens after 99 years?
Well, we have to get a new deal. Otherwise, we're not getting it back, are we?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that a lot of people are talking about this, but I'm just assuming it's a huge, huge miscommunication there.
Yeah,
There's probably some
absolutely.
conversations. I don't doubt that the Kroenkes want a couple of American football games at the Emirates eventually, so they're trying to get a deal with Arsenal. I don't know how
Yeah.
easy it is to do that,
Yeah,
but
there's a few people. Sorry, there's
I
a few
doubt-
people, Zana.
I doubt that Arsenal would be willing to sell, like not even sell, like kind of sell the
Money.
stadium for 120 million
Marley,
and
if we've
pay
got
10 million each, 10
Money.
each year. Doesn't make sense.
Marley, but the
No.
problem is we owe them. It said just there we apparently owe the Cronkies £184 million. Now, next minute we're going to hear that as an excuse for not buying anyone. Two, right? If we owe them £184 million and they want us to sell the stadium, what are we going to do?
It's
They could
probably a
just buy, as you
different.
said, no, because they'll just say, "Well, okay, we'll take every single penny you got and bankrupt us."
Yeah, it's probably a differently structured
This
deal.
is the difference between Abramovich and Kroenke.
Yeah.
And people
Everyone
saying
knows
they don't wanna
Abramovich loved
Yeah.
Arsenal, loved Chelsea
and
more than the
this is
Kroenkes
also
love Arsenal. mate.
all right, Sheikh Mansour and the Kroenkes, and people want to keep going off about how Man City buying their titles and like everything like that. This is why I would rather be under their ownership of Man City right now, because like
Well,
we'd be taken care of.
let's see what happens first.
Yeah,
It's all,
Exactly.
that
Because
sounds
we're only
sounds
talking about
ridiculous.
theories right now. It sounds a little
That's-
too ridiculous to believe.
Yeah.
By the way, guys,
I wouldn't put it
seven
past this
people.
board.
One second. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Fair enough. 7 people watching right now. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel. Share the stream. Nitesh, you have any thoughts on the subject? You think it's crazy? Do you believe there's anything to it? Because we're gonna move on.
Even
to
if
the
it
official
was,
policy.
even if it was true, we can't do anything about it. So I wouldn't ponder too much about it till it happens. Like, what's the point of being tense about
Yeah.
something that we have just like an? It's just out there in an article. There are no real comments of people coming out and saying it that it's actually happening,
I
or
think we
maybe
should
even
be
the Kroenke is
protesting
making
over
a
it.
statement. At least there should be some, you can say, viable comments coming out of from people, relevant people at the club, or if there is something seriously happening, we will see it at the next game probably, if such a thing is actually happening. But
Wow.
based on articles, I wouldn't lose any sleep, because as it is right now, we can't do anything about it. It's going to be between the club and the Kroenkes. If they don't want to sell the stadium to the Kroenkes, I think the Kroenkes will have to find an alternative way.
Why
Uh,
can't then we just protest?
No, yeah, we can protest, just not lose too
If
much
this fan
time
base has
over.
got any balls about them, they'd be protesting about it right now.
Stephen, which
Uh,
protest from the Arsenal fans has actually done anything?
Rebel, my
I
man.
don't care. We need to do something, because I'm sorry, that's not good enough. We should not be selling our own stadium.
Rebel,
What
bro.
point does our top club in England, one of the biggest clubs in the world, sell
Steven,
its
we're
own
moving
freaking
on,
football
mate.
stadium?
Rebel, bro. We've already spoken about Gakpo. We said that it's a lot more likely that he'll join you guys and not us. So we didn't spend too long talking about him. But he seems to be a really good player. Really, like, great numbers this season. He mostly plays as a left winger, which is the position where we have like the smallest gap between the starter and the substitute player. But he seemed like he's a really physical player, really fast, tricky as well. Great finesse shot, that open shot from the left to the right. But anyway, let's move on to. I understand your frustration, Stephen. By the way, we just like we
I
can't
just
do much
find it
about it.
and how it all seems to be. Oh, it's not that bad.
No, it's
It's
horrible.
one of
It's
the biggest
horrible. If
clubs
that
in the world
actually
selling its
happened,
own stadium.
No, I'm saying
It
let
should
at
be
least
like
we're just waiting to find out more
Yeah.
until we say
Exactly.
anything, because right now,
Exactly.
like, that looks ridiculous. If it does happen like
Yeah.
that, I'm
Well,
sure
there's a number
everyone's
of
gonna.
people saying it on online
Yeah, mate,
and on
mate.
Twitter,
If it
on
happens,
socials.
I'm sure every Arsenal fan out there is gonna be fuming. I'm sure I'm gonna be
I don't,
so angry.
Molly, I wouldn't. But do you know what? I wouldn't part this fan base to be so angry at it. Go tweet out or on hashtag Cronky out this, that, and all the other. Turn up at the stadium and then actually go. Good luck, game guys, because it's last day of the season. We need top four. Good luck, guys.
All right, moving on.
That's the last time they did it.
Uh, well, guys, after a great month of March, we're gonna start our April facing I think it's one of the toughest games we have
Mm,
remaining this season. We're playing Palace away. Vieira has been doing really well. I think he's been doing better than Gerrard, and Gerrard seems to be getting a little more praise than he has been
Mm.
getting. But anyway, really tough opposition. I know a couple of you guys' score predictions already, but I want you guys' brief thoughts on the game before we get to that. Caio, my man, what are your thoughts on the Palace game?
Yeah,
No score
so
predictions
I
just yet, by the way. Just your
okay,
thoughts.
okay, okay, okay. I think we are more than capable of winning this match, but I think this, as you said, this will be one of the toughest ones. So I would settle for a draw, and I would say a draw because we are playing away from home, and Palace is a very competent team. Also, the Vieira made them um, compete in every moment of the game. So when they are defending deep, they can compete. When they are pressing high, they can compete. When they need to build up play, they can compete. And when they need to play direct, they are also good. Of course, their quality is not as high as ours, and this will always be an important factor in the Premier League. That's why they are in the mid-table, not top
Yeah,
four, top six. But they are tough, man. So, and away from home, they already made us think about them very
yeah,
deeply in
yeah,
the first half of the season. So I would say a draw.
yeah. Right. Um. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
No one
disagree
thinks
with that. Okay, just to make sure.
you probably disagree with the manager part, not the player part. No one thinks Vieira. No one
Oh
thinks
yeah, yeah,
Vieira is a
yeah,
better
yeah,
player
yeah,
than
yeah.
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Of
get
course,
that
of
one
course, of
right, at
course.
least.
Rob, what are your thoughts before this game?
It's a massive game. It's absolutely massive. It's for many reasons, not only because it's our next game, but win this game, and then we go on to play Brighton at home, which I like to think would win, and
We should do win now.
then that then that's two games that our rivals have got a chance of slipping up on. So again, we'll make some headroom on them, and then we're playing Southampton away, which I think we can win, and then West Ham away, which I think we can win. So this will be a great boost to win on Monday night. It would be fantastic because I'm scared about this game. I think Palace away. Um, it hasn't always been. We used to go Palace away and win every year
Yeah,
by lots of goals, and going back a few years now. But recently, it's a tough place to go, and I'm hoping they've got one eye on the FA Cup, which I think they
it's a
could
good point.
definitely have. They could
Yeah,
definitely have an eye on the FA. That um, the next round is massive for them. They don't want to get injured. They want to be playing, and it's human nature that they could be. But that did that. Then again, will Vieira stand for that? So I don't know. But it's a tough game.
yeah. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Rebel says Palace dangerous game. He's getting a tune out of them and doesn't seem afraid of any team. Just adding both points, Robs and Rebels, it's I can see them resting a couple of players. They have nothing to fight for in the league
No.
anymore. Like they stand no chance of getting
Well,
relegated. They're not getting
most
any
of the
European places.
to be fair, most of the
What?
fan base want to be in the top 10, and they're only literally 2 points off that.
That's fair enough, but they have big games ahead. But in spite of that, like whoever plays, I feel like Vieira is gonna give it a fair try. So I
To
think
be
it's a really
fair,
dangerous game too.
they can,
Um,
sorry, they can go all out in this game. Because, and I'll tell you for why. Crystal Palace is the reason Crystal Palace's semi-final for me doesn't really matter is because a Patrick Vieira won't let them slip on their
Mm.
work rate and the way they play their football, right? And I don't think they have already now instilled the mentality that they won't do that. Second of all, is that their game in the semi final is not next week; it's the week after, if I'm
okay,
not
yeah,
mistaken.
no, no players
It's
rested.
on the
They play Leicester
17th of
next.
April. It's on the 17th of April, so not
Yeah,
next.
so
Yeah, so it's not next week. It's the week
I
after.
think you're
So
absolutely right about Vieira, which is why I mentioned it. But
so
I'm going back to human nature. I think there will be something in them thinking I won't go so hard in that tackle because I do not want to miss that game. It's such a massive game
yeah,
to miss.
I
So
think I think Arsenal's looking at this game as a more important game than Palace is looking at it.
absolutely,
I
yeah.
agree with Rob
yeah,
100%.
I get that,
And
but
little fractions like that at the top of your
they're not
game
they're not gonna
is
make it.
huge.
Then yeah, they're not gonna make you. I mean, you saw at the Emirates, right? And this is what I said at the time is that what they managed to instill, like in literally only a couple of months, nearly toppled us at home. We had about nearly 2 years of doing it. Um, and that's the problem I find with Crystal Palace, and it's not even the players that they've got, because some of the players that can hurt us, Edouard, Elise, Eze, Gallagher. The main problem with um, Crystal Palace is that they have a manager that if they know there's something going wrong, even in the first half, he will adapt the system. They did it against Everton when, like, I just had the preview with Rich, and they said first 10 minutes couldn't get out of one box. As soon as Townsend got injured and they replaced him, right, all of a sudden it was relentless, and they destroyed Everton because of that one change. That's the thing. Vieira can adapt during the game. Arteta literally sticks to his game plan and his same substitutions until literally the whole 90 minutes. If he does that, he will find himself getting probably exposed because that's what nearly cost us in the previous game against Crystal Palace. Is because we were fine for 20 minutes. Vieira saw the problem, made the adaptation that he needed tactically, then we went asleep. And it was
Yeah,
literally after we scored the first goal. When we scored an early goal, saw the problem with the team, right? He adapted it, and then we were lucky to how we shouldn't have won. We shouldn't have drew that game. Right? To me, that's a loss because like they
yeah,
deserved all 3 points, and we had no right to take a point off them from that game because they were that good. And that's the problem I find. This is a big test for Arteta to prove that he can not only beat someone tactically aware, but also someone who can adapt the system to suit the way we're playing, right?
fair enough.
Which means he's going to have to do it himself.
Yeah, yeah. Nitesh, do you agree with Steven? And what are your general thoughts on the game?
Steven thinks that Vieira is the only tactical manager in the entire Premier League.
I didn't say that.
And but in a way, you are like, okay, Vieira can adapt to these things happening on the pitch. Vieira will make changes. Arteta will just be doing the same thing. He doesn't do anything else apart from
He
that.
doesn't know.
So
When does he ever do it?
Yo,
Steven, there are 2 to 3 things to every lineup. The first thing is the players that you start in the team. The second thing is about the tactical changes that you make and when you make your substitutions. Anyways, the main problem that I have with Arsenal here is that Leno is in goal. If his distribution is not on point, I think we are gonna be messed up totally, because they're gonna press us hard, and if his distribution is gonna be bad on the night, I think Crystal Palace will press in towards our box and totally cover all the spaces that we have, and Leno will probably end up giving them the ball more often than not. That is my concern in this game. I am not worried about what will happen in the midfield and the forward half of the pitch, because from what we have seen. And Stephen, one more thing: the time when you were talking about when we drew to Crystal Palace, we didn't just do it against Crystal Palace. We did it against 2 or 3 teams in that phase where we scored a goal and we sat back, and then we were like resting and just waiting to defend, and we were not able to defend our goal as well. So now things have changed to an extent. We have continued to attack right through the 90 minutes a bit more than we were doing it before, and I think that mentality has improved a lot from that
Completely
phase
for our game,
from
mate.
last year. So from last year, if we get a goal this time, I think we'll attack a bit more and we'll continue to attack. Plus, our defense looks much more solid. Even though Tomiyasu is injured, Cedric has stepped up as well. So I think that is not going to be a problem. The main problem will be from the back. When Leno has the ball, what he does with it, I think that is my main concern.
All right, fair enough. Fair
Hey,
enough.
Very good
Yeah,
point.
I didn't say Vieira is the most.
Stephen,
only
be
tactic
very
manager.
quick. We got to move on, man.
B, right? If you see also, we might have improved since that game, but we do not attack for the whole 90 minutes. We don't. We have periods of it. We have
Well,
periods.
no team does.
Yeah.
No
Right.
team attacks for 90
No.
minutes.
No, so
But what he's saying is, and I totally agree, we did go through a period early Arteta days where
but even
we were
still,
finding our feet
sometimes
under him, where we would score a goal and then we would then sit back on it more. But we
but the
definitely
thing
don't
is,
do
but
that
the
as
thing
much
is
now.
that even still, even to now, we would score a goal and immediately I would see is drop back 5 yards.
Yeah, that happened for a while.
Don't need to. If we go 1-0, and that's what happened to Crystal Palace.
But I think that's
We do
changed.
that.
Look at Watford.
You still do it at times. We still do it at times. And
Nah,
what
mate.
we
A
need
lot's
to do.
improved.
I'm not
It's
saying
definitely
nothing has.
improved.
Hang on a minute. I'm not saying
Because it was
that.
very noticeable before. It was very
Hang on
noticeable.
a
You were
minute.
right. We
I'm
used to
not saying
fall
it's
back.
not improved, but we still do it. And what I need to see is that if we do that against Crystal Palace, even for a second, they'll be on top of us. We
Yeah,
need to
I'm
go
not
out,
sure.
and when we score the goal, and we score the first goal, go out and kill them. Go
I
out
agree
But
with
and
that.
kill them.
it's a great point you make, because we do play our game is very much playing from the back, and Leno's distribution could really affect that. It's a fantastic point. I never thought about that. That makes me even more worried now. Thank you.
I'm very worried about that one. It's
But
a
then
huge game.
down
We're
to the
moving on.
manager to adapt.
We're moving on to lineups, and I think that's going to be quick too. Just on the, by the way, Caio, what I'm about to say, I'm definitely cheating off your podcast. This is a tough game. If Arsenal wins against Crystal Palace, I feel like we're going to get really close to 80 points, which should suffice. I listened to the whole thing and it's very fresh on my mind. So even in tougher seasons like 2016, 17, if you get close to 80 points, you're getting top 4. And Caio predicted us getting 77, I think 75, right? 75 points, drawing
Yeah,
against Palace. And
I predicted 75, and the highest fourth place team was, I think, Liverpool in 16-17 with 76 points.
yeah.
So 75 basically makes you top 4, puts you in top 4 in all seasons except for one.
Yeah.
But
And
and I was already considering draw with Palace and lose to Chelsea, right?
yeah.
And draw with West Ham. So I considered
What about
2
Man
draws
United?
and 1 loss.
And
Win
a draw
against
with Spurs.
Yeah. Draw at Spurs. Yes. 3
So
draws,
if
1. Well,
it was a really sensible prediction, and if we win against Palace, we're already ahead of his prediction, so it
It'd
should
be
be looking
massive.
good. If you
If we
speak
win on
Portuguese,
Monday.
do check it out. Do check it out because it was a really great podcast,
be.
as they all are.
Should be
We're
one of the
moving
biggest
on
ones.
to team
I'll get
lineup.
my Duolingo out.
All right. I don't think there's a lot of mystery for this one. I feel like the midfield should be quite solid. The defense, other than right back, should be really straightforward as well. There's always doubts up front because we have more able players, and there's probably doubts on goalkeeper and
Before
right back. So I'm gonna go one by one with
before
very
we do
short
this,
answers.
Go this.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Joe.
Can we just go through what score lines we think it is for Palace?
That's the next one. We're gonna wrap up
Oh,
with score
sorry.
predictions.
Okay,
It's all
sorry.
good. It's all good. So who's starting? Who do you guys think starting? Leno or Ramsdale? Steven?
It's going to be Leno because Ramsdale's still out.
Yeah, I think so too, and I'm worried. So we're all saying Leno, right? It seems like Ramsdale's
Yeah,
not going to be
it
available.
looks like it. Yeah.
Do you guys see any chance of Takehiro Tomiyasu
Do you want
starting
me to
over
get? Do you want
Cedric?
me to get? Hang on. Do you want me to get the foot where we can do it on the screen?
Nah, it's all good, my man. Because I'm going through this
literally
really
got it up
quickly. So
now.
What
Hold on
is
now.
up with Tomiyasu? What's going on there?
yeah, I'm hoping he's going to be back soon, man. I hope he
So
doesn't
we've been
become one of
saying
those
this for
things.
months.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
been saying it for months.
He keeps saying he
What?
gets a
He's been out
reoccurring
like a
injury.
month and a half, right? Not
Well,
2 or 3
apparently,
months.
Really?
according to Arteta, is a reoccurring.
I think it's been like
injury.
6 weeks.
He
What?
has
He was
returned
on
to
the-
training, right? Good.
Yeah.
He was
He's
on the
returned
just
he was on the
returned.
bench. He returned on the bench one game and then he disappeared again, didn't he?
Okay.
Right. So
Right.
we're
So
going
sure. Let's do
Leno
this.
in goal.
Leno in goal. So Cedric probably on the right?
It's gonna have to be Cedric. If
Yeah,
if
looks
Tomiyasu
like
is
it.
not, I always have this policy with a player. If they're not fit, don't play them.
Yeah.
Causes problems. Ben White and Gabriel.
Exactly. Right. You're doing this quickly, so I'm happy.
What's a defence?
Oh, I wouldn't go that mad,
Ben White. Fantastic.
mate. Not compared to Sol Campbell, Tony Adams.
Yeah, but we don't
Steve-
have Sol Campbell or Tony Adams. They're gone.
Yeah, but those are the level of players I want back.
Well, they don't exist
Oh.
anymore.
Steven, this is
You have to go out and
2022.
find them.
There may never be another Sol Campbell. He was that good.
No, I'm not saying the exact player. Someone of that quality.
But no, there
There
isn't
are
anyone of
players
quality.
All right.
Who is
So,
there at
guys.
the moment? Who's out there like who's as good as Sol Campbell at the moment? Apart from
Maybe a Van
Liverpool
I'll
Dijk.
tell you one who's better than Ben
Van
White right
Dijk.
now.
Yeah, Van Dijk. I'll give it Van Dijk is good.
Saliba's better than Ben White right now.
Well, let's hope he
Well-
stays here next season, but that's
Yeah.
he's got plenty to prove. So
definitely
we're going
better
with
than
Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was at the Arsenal Liverpool game and my seat is quite near the front, so you get a fantastic view. And seeing Van Dijk in the flesh, oh my word, he is
He's a
a
big
mountain. He's a mountain, and he's so good. No wonder they spent 70 million on him. He's a difference, I think, in that
I
team.
would have taken. Someone mentioned Norson on my channel mentioned El Neni as a safe option. He's not he doesn't take any risks. And I've always said that about him. And then he's hard worker and he doesn't take any risks.
He's a good
Unlike
he's a good player to keep.
Steven,
As a
don't
going,
lose
isn't
focus. Don't lose focus. Put the players there. We don't have a lot of time.
Fine.
Steven dissing Ben White and saying El Neni.
What? Why are
Go
you
on,
comparing two different positions?
Nothing, ignore it. Go on, continue.
By the way, if you hear something, Rebecca's trying to get rid of a bug, not by
Okay.
killing it, right? Like just throwing it out the window. So
Okay.
if you hear any background
Go on,
noise
go
or
on.
me moving like crazy, it's because a bug's
What
attacking us.
what temperature are you experiencing right now?
Temperature?
It's freezing here. Yeah.
Oh, right now? It's probably 26, 25 degrees.
Oh, you're joking. It's freezing here. It's
Probably.
snowing and everything.
Can I make a quick point? This is what I would do if I was
Okay.
manager.
What would you do?
I put Saka on the right. I'd put Smith Rowe on the left. I'd put Odegaard in the middle, and I'll put Martinelli up front.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
So you are not
Oh,
okay playing a false nine against Villarreal, but you're okay playing Martinelli against Crystal Palace as a
No,
striker.
he's not playing as a false nine.
No, I
Don't
know.
need
I'm
a
just
false
saying
nine.
you want to change the entire tactic against Crystal Palace all of
No,
a
I
sudden now.
don't. No. No.
Okay.
We're playing.
So
We're
guys,
playing a
I gotta
4-2-3-1, which
make
we've been
this
playing all
fast.
season, right? But we're using Martinelli up front, who could actually be of use, rather than Lacazette, who could barely bloody shoot, and actually have
Well,
a proper striker up front.
I hear you, but I've given up hope on Lacazette not playing, and I would rather him play than Ketia. So, does everyone else, other than Steven, agree that it's probably going to be Lacazette up front? Who would you guys prefer, Smith Rowe or Martinelli
I'd like to
starting
hear
this
what
game?
everyone else, what their lineups would be, rather than what the manager is. We all know what the manager is going to be. He never bloody changes it. Well, he doesn't, does
I
he?
just,
And how many games have we won in a row now? Take away
yeah,
Liverpool
But
game.
I just want
but if you
to.
don't do squad management, we end up knackered.
Steven, even Pepe admitted that he's okay with Arteta not changing the lineup now. So relax.
I'm not
And
saying that.
we've had a long rest
Fuck
because
me.
players, most of the players out in international duty haven't have either played just one game or they haven't started the entirety of two games. So
Brilliant.
players should be well and rested. We have like
Good.
full strength other than injuries like Ramsdale and Tomiyasu getting back.
Mhm.
So we're probably, you know what? I'd like to see Mornelli
But
up front, ESR on
I'd
the
like to
left.
see
I don't see
something
that's happening.
different because,
Yeah,
like, it gets too damn fucking.
I'm with you.
It gets too damn effing predictable.
Steven, I would go with the exact same lineup that you chose. Yeah, I'd go with the exact same lineup. But
So Martinelli,
because
on the
yeah,
left looks so good though. He's amazing. So
yeah.
You
would
can't
That's what I
he
want
do
to
it?
ask.
Bro, that's why
Would
I
he
put
do it up
Martinelli
front?
up front. He
Rob, do you
can do it up
start
front.
Mornelli or Yesar on the left,
Martinelli
or Smith Rowe for this game?
well, Martinelli has to keep his place.
Okay.
If that's what it is on the left, it's got to be Martinelli. He's been absolutely amazing. And as mentioned in my new blog, it's ridiculous, isn't it, that Smith Rowe, a player of his standard, cannot get into the first team.
That's the point I'm making. Why are we making this excuse
Do you
for Lacazette?
do you generally believe Martinelli can do a job up front?
Yes, he can do a job. He did it. The goal he scored, right, which won him Player of the Month back 2 years ago now, I think it
Against
was.
Chelsea?
Right, against Chelsea. And what did he get as a reward? He got dropped.
We aren't playing the system we were playing 2 years ago.
It's different.
But we're playing
we
a
gotta-
system
we can't-
that can use Martinelli as an actual striker.
Guys, not everything is going to be able to become a debate here. I just very quickly.
That's not a
Caio,
system.
Caio, do you start ESR or Martinelli for this game?
Just trying to get both of them in the game.
Martinelli.
Martinelli. Steven, I agree with you, my man. It's just that I'm raising a different point. I'd start Martinelli up front as
why
well.
we have to put up with Lacazette.
No, it's like unfortunately we know that's coming, my man. So that's like the one thing I see possibly changing is left wing. So I'm asking Nitesh, would you start Martinelli or ESR?
It's gonna be Martinelli because Lacazette is the captain. He's not gonna be dropped.
And
No,
that's
okay,
the
but
exact problem.
Yeah, so Martinelli will start. Smith Rowe is doing well as a substitute. We just hope that he comes on as a substitute
Great,
and
make someone
can
else
score
happy.
when the defenders are a bit tired. Because Martinelli runs at defenses like for whatever time period he's on the pitch, he'll continuously keep running in between. Like he'll take rest and then continuously go again. And then Smith Rowe coming to replace him and doing the same thing when the defender has probably been running around with Martinelli and a bit tired adds to that side. Like, see, I don't know whether a lot of people agree with this or not. Martinelli and Saka should target their fullbacks and probably get a booking out of them. And then when the other guy comes in, the fresh guy comes in, whether it's a Pepe or maybe it's a Smith Rowe, that person should again attack the same fullback. And probably if he fouls him again, he could probably be sent off. If we have people who are running with pace, we should try to run at their defense and get bookings out of them, so that then they have to be very careful and they start ignoring tackles that they would probably be putting in if they were not booked.
Awesome.
Stephen,
Stephen, I understand your point. Yeah. But, Stephen, God came to Arteta in his dream and said that only Lacazette can play as a striker. So forget about alternatives. Who'd you play as a left wing? Martinelli or ESR? But that's the question I'm asking. Who do you play, ESR or Martinelli?
No, I'm starting that formation. I'm starting that lineup. You asking me
Fair
what
enough.
I would do? I'm starting that lineup.
Yeah, but I'm asking you a different question. You don't have the availability of playing them as a striker. As a left winger, only one starts, ESR or Martinelli. I said I agree with you, mate. I'd have the same lineup you have, but that's not happening, and I'm asking
I
you a
would
different
love
thing.
to see Smith Rowe get some minutes.
Right.
What's
I
Smith
think I agree
Rowe
with
done
Stephen.
wrong all of a sudden?
I'd go with Smith
This is
Rowe as
the
well.
thing,
I'm with Stephen.
We're putting up with Lacazette in as a striker when we've got Smith Rowe, who's done nothing wrong apart from play his heart out. He's also our top goal scorer over Lacazette. And yet we're not playing him on the left and putting Martinelli up front to get them both in the game. It's beyond me. It's beyond me.
Stephen, can I ask you one question?
What?
Please, no, don't, Nitesh.
A simple
Don't.
question. Okay, suppose Arteta starts both and Smith Rowe starts as a false nine. Are you happy then?
What is this about a false nine? Just play
I'm
him as
just
a
asking
striker.
you. I'm just asking you if
Get
Martinelli is playing on the left and
striker,
Smith Rowe
pal.
plays up front. Are you okay
Play
then?
him as a striker. If he plays
Yo,
that, I'm happy. I'll be over
Nitesh,
the moon.
you're gonna give Stephen a heart attack. Caio's already ordering iFood because like we haven't spoken to him in like 20 minutes. Come on.
That's all
All
I'm
right,
saying.
we're moving on to score predictions now. I'm just quickly gonna go through all of you. Stephen, let's start with you. What's your score prediction? I think you said 2-0 on your stream. Are you gonna maintain that?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Fantastic.
That's a good one. Caio, or I think you said 1-1, or you might not have said a score. Oh, you said 1-1. There you go. You keeping that?
Look, I think Arsenal will win, but I'm being pessimist. Okay, let me be pessimist. And I think
Arsenal's gonna win. So my prediction's 1-1.
Yeah. No, because the thing is, Arsenal is capable of winning against, I don't know, 16 teams, 15 teams in the Premier League in our best day. The thing is, this game is very tough. So if we were to keep our momentum from these last matches, I think we will win. But I can't be sure we will keep the momentum. That's part of the growing of this squad and Arteta as a manager. So draw is the most sensible pick, I would say.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm a little afraid that because we haven't played in so long, like the flow that we had is gonna be disrupted a little bit. Rob, what's your score prediction?
Yeah, it took the words out of my mouth. I think the same thing. We can win this game, but the main thing is not to lose. So I'm going 1-1. I think 1-1, and anything else will be just fantastic.
Awesome, Nitesh.
I think for some reason, what did he say?
He was like, and they all moan at me. He's the most positive one here.
I think probably for some reason I am
brilliant.
for some reason I'm thinking that it's gonna be like a 3-3 draw kind of game, like a high scoring draw.
Dear.
Because like we'll score the first goal, then Palace will try to push forward and they'll open up a bit.
Don't moan I'm being negative again, man, because I'm the only one predicting we're going to win this game. Come on.
Come on,
Steven,
I have Martinelli and Saka in my FPL team as well, along with Gabriel. So I can go for a high scoring draw. But overall, I think what will happen is
because that's the be all and end all.
once Palace starts attacking, they'll open up a bit because they will be chasing the game. And I think that is when there will be more goals for both teams. And again, the reason I'm thinking that we may concede three is because I have zero confidence in Leno and his distribution.
Okay. Okay.
I've just
I'm
had a
gonna.
thought.
Hmm.
Is it Saka might be missing?
He
Um,
might too. He might as well because of
Why?
COVID, right? Recovering
No,
from
he's not.
COVID.
He'd be over COVID by now.
Yeah, I think
He
it should
should
be
be over
fine.
COVID by
Let's
now.
hope so.
Yeah, well, I think in the last game, I think you mentioned he was okay.
I'm gonna split the difference. I was gonna go for 2-1, but Nitesh raised a good point. Like I can see this being quite a high scoring game. No, but I'm gonna stick with 2-1. 2-1 Arsenal. So let's chase those 77 points. That should suffice. All right, so guys, that was a little longer than
Put
we have
one.
been doing
You got
this.
one. You got one prediction in the comments.
Okay.
There's one
Who's
prediction in the comments.
Thank you for
AFC
reminding me,
Max.
my man. Right, so AFC Max says 3-0. That's a lot of
Fantastic.
confidence. That's a lot of
That's
confidence right there.
happy days if that happens.
let's hope he's right. So yeah, I think that was it. That was it. We covered everything. That was a little over 70 minutes. I'm sorry for staying a little longer than expected. Steven, my man, tell us where to find you. By the way, next Tuesday, I'm gonna be shaving my hair live on his channel. It's finally happening. The donation page has hit 2,000 a couple weeks ago, so we're scheduling it for next Tuesday. This weekend, I'm gonna saying goodbye to my hair. I plan on going somewhere windy for good pictures. Also on water, take that picture where I just get out of the water like this, and it creates that circle effect with the water as well. Yeah, I'm gonna give it my best shot. It's raining a lot in Rio, so I might
It's
not have
fucking
the
snowing
weather,
over here, mate.
Oh, but
but
you
I'm
poor
gonna.
thing. It's raining. It's raining, but it's 28 degrees. Must be terrible.
Yeah, bitching about the weather.
Nah, I think
Honestly,
that is the fun part in the heat when there is water pouring on you. It's cooling you at the same time, and it's not too cold as well. So I think that is perfect.
All right. So Steven, tell us
Mhm.
where to find you, where you're gonna be up
Well,
to.
you can find me lying in a dark room after this as well. Um, anyway, you can find me on SVT TV. We cover Arsenal and football content, whilst and with every stream we do, and every upload we do, all raises money for Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So make sure you go and subscribe and become a member from as little as $1.99 a month. Right, it's cheaper than a
Yes.
frigging double cheeseburger at McDonald's, mate. So please go and do that right now. Also, go and sub to the F1 channel if you're into F1 at SVD F1, because trust me, like we can have a debate on it. People have knowledge on football that I probably don't know. They've probably got nothing that comes to F1, or nothing that they don't know that's not worth knowing. So, I and I'll definitely be enjoying Vegas next year. Vegas,
Right.
Vegas.
Yeah. Do support Steven, guys. His content's a lot of fun, but he does it all for charity. He does it all for great causes, even when he's simply knackered, which is most days, honestly, because he does like 5 streams a day. All right. Rob, my man, glad to have you back. Where can we find you?
No,
What are you up to?
thank you for having me. It's great to be back, and you can find me on Twitter, Guna145, and also I just started very exciting a new blog, um, the Arsenal Blast. So if you just go to my profile, Guna145, you can find the link there, and please have a read, and hopefully I'll be writing a very positive blog following Monday night's game.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't read the most recent one, but I think you sent me the first one, so I did read the very first blog you posted there.
Okay,
Absolute
I've got an,
plus, as expected
thank you.
by someone like Rob. So do check it out. Do support my good friend Rob. Nitesh, the man beyond the posts. What are you up to?
Steven, false nine. But anyways, you guys can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook as well, Beyond the Post, and check out beyondthepost.net. We just posted a story about apparently the whole VAR setup was stolen between Nigeria and the game between Nigeria and Ghana. So I just shared that article out. And you can also check out Arsenal FC fans on Facebook. It is an Arsenal page. Around 384K members are subscribed to it or follow it. And apart from that, thank you for having me on. And hopefully, I can get back to YouTube as well soon.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And when you do, it'll be a pleasure to go on your channel as I've done before in the past. It was always a delight. And my amigo, my good friend Caio. Okay, so you're not going to
Thanks.
have the Twitter help in there this time.
No. Bigger
False
calls here.
That's his trigger word now. False nine.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks for having me. Everyone can find me at AFC_FOCO at Twitter, and it's Portuguese content, but you can use the translate feature. Thanks.
Yes, do check it out. Absolutely, my man. Thank you for being here as always. And if you do speak Portuguese or a little bit of Spanish, do check out his podcasts. They're really insightful. So that's it. Let me find the outro. Thank you so much for staying with us for so long, guys. We'll see you next time, next Friday on Gunners from All Corners. And that's it. Have a good weekend, guys. Hopefully Arsenal wins. Ciao.